partners of my... Oh, well, your denial is very strident, I'll give you that. But what proof do you have to back your claims? Of course I do. If he had been in the magic box... You're saying that he wasn't?
Sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Lenny wasn't in the box. Oh, this means that when the crime happened, Lenny, the same clue you used to disprove his alibi...
Well played. To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. Could there have been a third person? Halsey is the missing person, and... The deceased's name is Cowell.
That can't be... The killer was, in fact...
Oh, is that so?
نفس اللي توقعته.
How interesting!
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. So, there must... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's assistant. No one entered or left the Halsey's clothing was in the... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the... The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. Lenny was not in the tunnel at... No one entered or left... Halsey's clothing was... The sound we heard may have come... It would have been tough for both people... The deceased's name is Cowell. The sound we heard may... It would have been tough for both The sound we heard may have... No one entered or left the opera house. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel.
Oh no!
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble
I see.
Look, since we're at a dead end, just like the trick as it transpired, the end result...
If only we knew... Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3... And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real life...
Excuse my interruption, dear opponents, but do you not see...
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a clash between... The deceased's name is Cowl. The vase was not broken by chance.
Oh! Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey disappeared instead of being kidnapped. Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving only clothes behind. If there's a similar method...
Just a moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality. Must we really? Magic tricks are ultimately just illusions and...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of reasoning may... Since Cal was the deceased, we haven't placed much attention on him. But given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it wouldn't hurt to have...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, Guards, please step into the lounge and examine...
We are still examining the items, but we discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's bag. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are...
the primordial seed.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells it. The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids. In one of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclese. Along with the notes also state that these dissolution properties work exclusively on people from Fontaine. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis...
You've got to be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
Oh.
But it's just a coincidence, isn't it?
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that the water tank's real use was as a means to hide water stains? And if Cowell was targeting that girl... Wait just a minute. Could that mean... You two, with me, quick!
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go. Just trust me.
Oh shit.
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the deceased... Still, let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic. Guards, please continue examining the items along... Mr. Linney, it appears your hypothesis is supported by the...
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of these cases...
Right! Like the metal heart! That one didn't... Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water from the...
The deceased's name is Cowell, Lenny's... The water from the primordial seed... Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire... I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage. Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick. I remember there was some... The water from the primordial sea... The rope that strung the water... Lynette was in the magic box. The water from the primordial... Now it seems like the hook rope with... I remember there was something... The rope that strung the water tank up. The water from the primordial sea... I remember there was something... Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was something...
أخيرا فحط.
It's in the original plan. Cowl would tamper with the water tank. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down, and afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel, with the remaining evidence being covered up by the water tank. But he encountered something unexpected in the tunnel, and wound up being fatally hit by the same water tank.
Huh. That actually links together a lot.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person? What a humiliation.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention... His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could be related to...
On that note, the guards have just contacted me. I shall now invite him on stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved, and we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny...
Huh?
What?
That can't be. Oh, does this not... My dear...
Oh shit.
Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution of the young woman at all, having made modifications to the props beforehand. But upon his return, and ultimately, he knocked Cowl out. Now, as much as I... Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end?
Oh shit.
Oh no. Seems using the water as new...
I think we've all seen enough. I believe this is indeed the finale.
Oh no.
Now then, my good, noble chief.
Excuse me, everyone, but I must interject.
Miss, I must ask you not to...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh.
What in the world is she saying?
No offense, miss, but miracles like...
Come on now, don't be silly. Magic is all about misdirection. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth? And wouldn't such a trick be the most Come on, Linny and Lynette. Give it another go. Don't but, as the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila.
What?
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me. And then, before I knew it, she caught me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowl. I admit it.
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one.
Oh.
That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there.
هذه القصة
And
أيوة.
I've never been caught before.
أيوة هذه القصة اللي مع ليني.
But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Lenny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying down, so I knocked him out and stuffed him into the box. There was nowhere to run from there, though, so I had to change my clothes and hide in a box containing performance costumes. I slipped out after the first guard arrived at the scene and continued hiding inside the opera house.
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't know that the water tank would fall down. Really, had I known that, I wouldn't have put him in the magic box.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to tell the entire...
أوكي يلا يلا.
The flower vase was not broken to cover anything up, but was smashed during the struggle between Lillian and Cowell. The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when she was frightened. Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she left, so she changed...
And it's Ace Detective Paimon! Having been selected
Ace Detective. حبيت الريفرنس.
Her panic only intensified after she entered the tunnel and had water poured on her head. Hearing the commotion, Cowell leapt into the tunnel, only to discover that Lillian had not dissolved. He did not know that Lillian was not from Fontaine, but was a thief who made her way in by stealing a ticket, mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial sea needed time to take effect. He tried to force the two broke the flower vase during the struggle, but Lillian came out on top, knocking with no way of escaping. She changed her clothes.
واو يا القصة والله بلوت تويست قوية. واو.
She knew that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macarons. So, she swiped two of them right under our noses. Talk about a sneaky thief.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have...
Ah, so that's... Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina. Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add...
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further...
Look at that!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the priest to cover up any evidence while committing the deed. Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to... He poured the water... Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian, thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed Lillian according to her own statements, then changed. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the Opera House. From this reconstruction of events, we... While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that this case, at least, can be handed over to the Oratrice to make the final decision.
Oh, please.
As such, Linny and Lynette are official.
Great work, partners. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we... How did you find the water from the primordials?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coop.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, therefore you would be wise to tell
Yes! Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, we've been in this business for a while now, and have made decent mora off it. The disappearances...
Oh shit!
What?
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
Whoa.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
ساعدناكم بس في زعل.
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even, I guess. But I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back...
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your
That's right. And since we're here, back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular. And we could at least stop before long, an aristocrat came to me.
So you went from orphans to...
That was how we felt at first, too. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster, he would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention.
That doesn't seem too bad either.
It took a... After one particular performance at a banquet, I discovered I waited a long time after we returned home, but she did not come back. The answer he gave me was... She caught the eye of the most eminent person at the banquet, so I sent her over as a gift.
Oh no. But what if I...
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship akin to adoption or foster. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and hurried. All I saw was the moonlit ground covered in blood.
So, she'd already...
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could come to any harm, and had even discovered several girls hidden in a basement, all of them orphan. Father, I mean, the Knave, might have seen something in me. The House of the Hearth welcomes you, for your interests align with ours. Here, I was hesitant to trust her. But she was also quick to destroy the noble who had taken us in it.
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained permission from the Sarita to first use the Gnosis's power once she obtains it. She plans to use it to find a way to break the prophecy and save Fontaine.
No way.
So, she believes...
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently... Today's case has also proven that people from Fontaine can indeed dissolve into some sort of water. All of us house members here, Lady Arlecchino herself included, are from Fontaine. We won't give up on defending our home. To us orphans, the only connection we have left...
So, from small deeds like distributing magic pockets to huge...
It's all right. I understand. I just hope you can... If you should need anything at all in the future...
Bye.
Bye, Linny!
Wow, plot twist. Oh shit.
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for it?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do... Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure? And given that there's new evidence from the
Ah, I see. Well, I won't lie. Sorry.
Don't say that now.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new waters. Sorry. Wait, shall we have a farewell meal?
Huh?
Well, I'd just like to... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it...
You don't have to
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then. Let's...
خلصناها. وات ما خلصت المهمة يا ولد. بعدين يا مرة. نشوف الهيستوري حقي. وقام 1 2 10 12. طيب يلا تعالي. ليه تجين ولا لا؟ آخر فرصة. طب 1 هنا. خمسة وستين جاني.
I came here several times with my father when I was little. But
oh, don't worry. We haven't eaten at a hotel.
In that case, I'll go order for...
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's good, I'll make a group reservation for the rest of Spina di Rosula next time.
And if it's not...
Well,
Yeah. Oh, we called this a farewell meal, but we...
Oh, true.
Huh? Paimon didn't know
نعم.
that you had to order even more food.
باسورد حق ايش؟ محمد غالبا. ابوي بس حطت الايام محمد 2004. اسألي. عاد ما اعرف، اظن محمد يا امي، ما اعرف. شوفي اما محمد او ام اسماعيل، ما يتغيرون. وام عندك، خليها تكتب لك. يا الله، التلفزيون بدأ يستهبل على راسي بعد. لحظة. ايوه.
Speaking of cases, do you think that the mastermind behind the series...
Well, we've certainly taken a big step
رجال الحين دور
forward.
الحلقة.
If it hadn't happened right in front of...
Right? Yet it was because the...
If only that guy could have finished speaking!
In such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like... To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might conduct. It's not that I don't have faith in their ability. It's easy to guard against and deceive a single
أظنهم
narrow
الناس اللي
perspective.
يدعمون
A shift in thinking is required at
الأركان
such times
السابقة.
in order to produce a breakthrough.
حاقدين.
Which is exactly why the Spina di... Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like,
مناكيرها حلوة.
what are your future plans?
That's true. We didn't have a chance to...
I see. So, I've heard that there's a long line of people waiting to meet Lady Farina.
Yeah, we've heard...
Well, would you consider...
Guess that's Spina di...
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the Opera House, only to abandon your act. I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending. And would... All right, I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy...
That might work...
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. All right, no more... You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens of hers from false accusations. False accusation?
You mean that if we catch her while she's on a break, she might be too embarrassed to refuse? Oh, why don't we give it a try after this meeting?
Huh? Paimon...
Was this your... Sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
Alright. Honestly, Paimon wouldn't recommend...
Is that so? Huh. If we're all finished eating, then I'll...
Yeah, we're... Oh, so full. Paimon can barely float anymore. Nah, that would be so... normal.
Okay.
Hey, Navia, what did...
Oh, nothing. It was just a meal, you know? Nothing the Spina di Rosula...
Let's get ready to try...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in Fontaine, you're all... in any case, I wish you smooth...
See ya!
Started as light rain falls without reason.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that...
Vache.
Oh.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler?
Vache?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hang on. Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Whoa! Oceanid!
Vache, are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. My memories feel like they have been washed away. How much have I lost? How many things that I once held dear while on land? Yes, that is what I was once. But now, I do not know how I came to be like this either. I only vaguely remember being covered in light blue water. I also remember going, no matter where I went, Vache would go with me. I knew how dearly he loved me, but now, we can... No! Our reunion no longer... The thought of me gives him no succor. If you meet Vache, tell him not to look for me. Tell him to move. Perhaps that is so. If only I could have comforted him. Told him that I did not suffer. Is that what you call it? It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy. With only... I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time. And only then sees... I think I hear your companion. It's farewell then.
Shit! ايش قاعد يصير؟ وش ذا الفوضى؟ ليش يهاجموني؟ يهاجمونا ولا ايش؟
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex.
يمو
Chlorand.
الروبوتات انقلبت ضدنا. احسب انها هي ضدنا. اوه ماي جاد.
Quick, now's our chance.
يمو كثرهم. اوه ماي جاد. اوه ماي جاد حركة السيجار. يما منها يا واحدة معها كليمور ديفنس وهذه معها سيف الاليمنتال ماستري. واو جيرل. Did you used to be best friends? I think so. You used to be close in your childhood, I'm sure. Now it's awkward between you two.
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before I do so, could you explain...
I followed you.
I believe that following someone without their knowledge is actually called stalking.
Mr. Callus's last wish was for me to ensure your safety, and I will not betray his trust. He would do the same.
Do not speak of my father.
Sorry, Demoiselle.
Thank you for your aid, Miss Chlorand, but do keep an eye out for your
Sorry,
Whatever. What else do you know?
I doubt I know much more than you. But I believe that the mastermind... Your performance tonight will almost certainly attract their attention.
هل ماريونيت قاعد تتحارش مع the knave?
To be honest,
قاعد
I'm shocked
تستفزها
it's taken them this long
وتتدخل؟
to act against me. And what about these Gardamex? I thought...
None of these mecha have serial numbers. I was sure to check a moment ago.
أيوة.
They are not the ones used by the... I can only conclude that some powerful or wealthy party must have...
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rose?
Yes. Be careful.
I will continue investigating, no matter what. Regardless.
I do not think that they'll strike.
الترافلر جابت بلوت تويست كبيرة. كنت حاسة إن البنات ماتوا بنفس هذه الطريقة بس إنهم يتحولون.
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Chlorand...
كلموني.
I know, I just... She's...
Oh, thank goodness! I'm on doubt those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were on... Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Chlorand who came out to save us too!
Oh, come now. Forget all that as such. We're so...
It will take 50 years.
قولي لها بسرعة.
Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest, you...
Huh? Really?
Yes. All thanks to you. After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our bases that the Fanta tasted kind of salty and icky. Fanta only comes in sweet flavors. So how could it...
So the Fanta had been spiked with what?
Yes. So if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the grandest of...
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de Boer to investigate. That's when I figured out that you might be in danger.
What? Why would...
Well, you did... Speaking of which...
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the Traveler fit... Oh, and this time Paimon heard it too! But it was... Does that mean the primordial seawater raises someone's sensitivity?
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing to...
New intel?
Well, let's hear it, shall we? Oh. Vache. That name doesn't ring a bell, since he saw that young woman dissolve, but he never gave testimony or any information regarding people dissolve. Yes, thank you. This is very important. Oh, you mean...
Well, you did say that our friend... And besides, we're in this now whether we like it or not.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so pleased. You are the face of Spina di Rosula, after all.
يعني أحسن بدي أحبها مرة cute.
Well, in that case, let's head back. We also have some plans to go over, and hopefully we can deepen our bonds as partners.
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely
I want
secure.
her as my new main. مرة cute. Oh no, my new favorite. يعني to be honest أنا عندي مرة نقطة ضعف لهذه الشخصيات اللطيفة والاجتماعية مرة cute.
It's right up ahead.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted any...
Very good.
I shall find rooms for our...
Thank you, Malus. Now, let's continue travel.
Oh shit. هل هذه هي المنطقة السفلية؟ اوه صح. بروح اسوي شيء قبل ما ابدأ المهمة. لازم اخذ هذه الموارد بسرعة. بسرعة. Oh no! خلص. يا الله. بسرعة. بسرعة.
Stabilize!
And voila!
Solidify!
أبغاهم يجتمعون في مكان واحد.
Everybody stand back!
As one with wind and cloud.
يا الله ليش ما طلعت نيران؟
Step right up.
اوكي تمام. ان شاء الله يكفي. انا شكله ما راح يكفي. حلو. ياب ناقصني. يب زي ما توقعت ناقصني قطع. يلا بس. المفروض انزل تحت زيادة. ضيعت الطريق. ضيعت الطريق. God. من وين اروح؟ كان المفروض انزل من هنا بعدين نزلت من هنا. ايوه يا الروقان. اوكي خلاص المناطق اللي عندي توب إنازوما سوميرو وفونتين. يلا يا ويلي ايش هذا قد ايش تحت. يا عمري في أطفال هنا. هذا المكان اللي كانوا عايشين فيه لينا ولينات يعني. يو حتى الموسيقى فايب ثاني، في صدى حركات.
Your accommodations have been arranged. Under the present circumstances...
Well, after all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering.
Seems like it's tough times for everyone.
To be honest, our financial situation was a lot...
Your father... he...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me to...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose that my father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they called... 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a duel.
Oh no.
But I do not believe my father was a murderer. At the time, I believed that if he only stood trial and was duly investigated, something... But strangely, he not only requested that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost... 3 years later, how could he protect his honor if he's dead?